All right, guys. So number 9 is to never stop learning. And this is important for you Zoomers, okay? It's important if you're extremely young, but you have to sacrifice your youth to master whatever skill it is or whatever niche it is that you want to master. Now, the reason why you can't ever stop learning and the reason why this is going to help you reach 6 figures a lot faster, if not immediately, is because what is today's JavaScript is going to be tomorrow's bleep borbity borb script. Okay. You guys see how fast stuff changes on the news now? You guys see how fast the entire sentiment of the planet changes? Well, guess what, guys? In IT and tech, it's no different. New technology rolls out almost every single day. And at the same time, like companies go through these phases where everybody wants to do an application on Ruby on Rails and everybody wants to do an application on this and that and this and that. When you choose to learn how to code, when you choose to be an engineer, when you choose this field, you're really making a pledge to yourself to choose to never stop learning. That's the only way you're going to stay relevant. And hey, maybe if you don't continuously learn and you don't stay relevant, maybe you do end up in some job position that, like from the which number was it? 3? Like from the third tip that I gave you guys to become indisposable at a certain job, maybe you do and you're at 6 figures and it's all good. And you got there because you never you never got, you just stayed in the same lane, right? But let's just say by then you're like 55 years old and you're making 150,000 a year. Well, it's going to be hard for you to get to that $300,000 a year plus mark because like you stayed irrelevant in the rest of the industry, and your options for what you can do are going to be dwindling, right? And when something like Web3 comes out, like it did, and if you guys ever saw my stream about Web3 salaries soar to 750K, I mean, there's people out there, there's Web3 companies out there that are offering $900,000 a year for smart contract development. Lord have mercy, that is a lot for being an employee. That is a lot to get paid for being an employee, right? So, you couldn't have learned that if you were going to not continuously choose to learn and grow, all right? And thus, hey, even if you don't want to make the choice, maybe you are working at a place, and let's just say they don't keep it the same. Let's just say they say that they want to build a whole new system. You're going to have to learn based off of some new technology. You're going to have to learn new things to stay relevant anyway. Like I said, and like I've always said, staying relevant in the industry, and once you choose to be an engineer, once you choose this path, you're choosing to make a pledge to yourself to never stop learning. And that includes everybody, includes myself. Harry McGuire Jr. says, do you teach people in DD to seek self-employment? I don't teach them to do that, but the ones that do want to do that, yeah, I show them the way. I show them the way. It's not my choice of what people do per se. I tell everybody, like everybody's different. Okay. Some people can't be self-employed, nor do they want to. Right. And the same vice versa. Some people don't want to do either or. And can't. So like, it's a person per person basis, but yeah, absolutely. If that's what they want to do, most certainly we do teach them how to do that. However, my opinion, it's irrelevant. I do state my opinion though. I think perfect scenario is you're somebody who can actually start out in a non-employed or non-self-employed job. Like you get your first year. Perfect scenario, 1 year as a W-2 employee, and you have some resume clout. And I really do think that there's something to be said for having to work as a grunt in a company somewhere. You learn a lot of stuff that you would never choose, that you would never choose to learn before, because you're going to be forced to, because you're not going to be the one making decisions of what tech is going to be used to build this or build that. You're just going to be the one taking orders, right? So you're going to learn a lot about a lot of things that you would never learn before. You're also going to learn how to deal with people, and man, people fucking suck. People that you're going to be forced to deal with, because if you were a 1099, a self-employed, or you owned your own software company, you could just tell people to kick rocks if you didn't want to let's just say a client, they're offering you money to do something and you didn't want to do it, you can just tell them to kick rocks because, it's your company. You can just do that, right? Or if you're a freelancer, you could just do that. But I think perfect scenario 1 year in the real world, because it is the real world, all right, or at least the synthesized matrix of the real world that we have today. And I think there's something to be said for being able to do that. I think it builds a lot of character. I think it benefits people a lot. And I say after that, maybe you go up a level to another job, and maybe that's also still a W-2 job. But by the time you get there, you should have enough willpower and enough funds underneath you to start doing your own thing on the side. So in that way, you're double dipping on yourself. You're double dipping on yourself. You have your regular job, then you have your contracting business that you're doing on the side, and you can actually make more money doing that, and you can learn new things doing that. But at the very least, if the side work that you're doing is a failure to launch, it doesn't work the first time, hey, it's all good, because you still got the income from the first job. You're still going to be able to pay your rent. You're still going to be able to save up some money, and you're really getting the best benefit of both worlds from there, right? And basically, after that second year, while you're doing both, you're slowly leaning towards doing the other thing, right? Some people, they're an all or nothing person. They're like, I just got to immediately do it like this, or I got to immediately do it like that. I think perfect scenario is it's like the way that I said it. You're doing kind of both, and you're slowly going to the self-employment route. You'll know when it's time to go all the way, because basically you'll be losing money at your regular job, and you'll have to be doing things like turn clients down, because you can't take on anymore, because you got so much from your side hustle or what you're doing as a contractor, or if you started a software company where you're doing it at your software company, that you're no longer able to even attend meetings at your normal job, and you're going to feel friction. So you'll know when it's time to go. But that's what I would do. As Cappy says, 1099 superior race. Yeah. So yeah, exactly. I think that is, in my opinion, that is a superior choice. It's just how you get there, right? Because that's what I do now. I didn't start doing that, and I just think, just refer to the last conversation that I said. But I think ideally, the ideal situation in the long term is that 1099 route, or owning your own company or whatever, right?